We got a light night in the NHL tonight, only 3 games. So I'm not going to have a long video for you guys today, so I'm not doing the timestamps. If it's less than 5 games, I don't really bother with the timestamps because it's only going to be about a 10-minute video. Anyways, when it's up to like 20-25 minutes, I do the timestamps because, yeah. Columbus is in Toronto. Columbus 29-23-4. Toronto 34-19-5. Columbus 4-5-1 in their last 10. Toronto's 8-2 in their last 10, as every Toronto fan will tell you, whether you ask or you don't. 2 wins in a row for Columbus. Toronto's won 4 in a row. Toronto fans will tell you that right after saying they've been 8-2 in their last 10. Usually with their faces turning red if you don't admit they're the gods of the universe. Korpisalo hasn't been confirmed. The starting goalie site that I use projected Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky started last night, so I would think Korpisalo will start tonight, and Anderson's been confirmed for the Leafs. Columbus right now looks like they're starting to get back in gear. I do wonder if they can continue that. It's been a slide for a good 6 weeks for them, and I wonder, are they really coming back? Because I want to believe in them, because I really want to see Columbus do well. That's the funny thing. I know they're an American team. I know they're not a team I necessarily cheer for, but it would be nice to see Columbus go on a bit of a run in the playoffs. It's always nice when you look at round 2 or round 3 of the playoffs, and you've got brand new teams in there, and players that have never been there before, and a whole new storyline. So it would be nice to see Columbus get on a bit of a run and get back into the talk of being one of the better teams in the East, like they were a couple months ago. And for Toronto, Tampa loses last night. Boston wins. Boston's within 1 point of Tampa. Toronto can now get closer to Tampa as well. I do wonder, like, the Lightning, maybe their schedule started to wear them down, but Toronto and Boston are both looking like they're capable of catching up to first place. So it could be a heck of a run and fight for that number 1 spot. Florida comes into Vancouver tonight. Florida 24-23-6. Vancouver 22-28-6. Florida's 6-4 in their last 10. Vancouver's 4-6 in their last 10. Florida won their last game. Vancouver won their last game. No confirmation of who's in net tonight. My speculation is probably Reimer. They could go with Sateri, but probably Reimer. And Markstrom is likely for Vancouver. Not that it really matters for Vancouver a lot of the time. Vancouver did win their last game, and it was a nice big win. But again, they're 6 games below 500, and it's already planning for next season for them. And for Florida, they're really kind of they're on the cusp. You kind of feel like, okay, they don't have to sell at the deadline. They've got a decent young team. Maybe if they add a couple pieces at the deadline and show they're really going for it, maybe things can turn around. And again, I might just be sounding overly optimistic about a team that's won 24 out of 53 games, but it's the East, and the East has weakened significantly over the last couple of months. Maybe if Florida can get on a run, you never know. And having Reimer back, and Reimer winning that game over Edmonton, which was a 7-5 schmozzle, the fact that Reimer got the win in that game is big. But at the same time, if they go with Sateri, I don't have a problem with that either. I'm wondering what's going to happen when Luongo comes back, because then you got 3 goalies, and Sateri's kind of shown over the last few weeks that he can play in the NHL, so we'll find out. But for Vancouver, again, it's a whole pride thing. Brock Besser, let's see if he gets a goal. Let's see if Horvat gets a point. And that's pretty much my interest level with the Canucks right now. Well, how did Brock do? Okay, well, that's important. And that's pretty much it. Last game, Brock's hand was still taped. It will affect his ability to get that shot of his off. But he's got a decent pass, too. He can pass as well. So as long as they've got him with line mates that can score, like a Bo Horvat, there's no reason that Brock can't do it. I'm not talking about the Calder. The Calder is Barzal's right now. Barzal's ahead in the points for the Calder race right now by 11. It's his trophy. There's no way anybody's touching him. Montreal and Colorado. Montreal 22-26-7. Colorado 30-21-4. Montreal's 4-5-1 in their last 10. Colorado 4-5-1 in their last 10. Montreal's lost their last 2. Colorado won their last game. Colorado's now 3-3 without Nathan McKinnon in the lineup. Price is probably the starter for Montreal, and Varlamov is the starter for the Colorado Avalanche. Colorado is one of those teams too, and there's a bunch of them in the West and the East. Are they contending? Are they falling out? Um, this game tonight's going to be big for them because this is a Montreal team coming in that doesn't have a great road record. They don't have a great record overall, and they've struggled. They've struggled in games like this, and pretty much games like almost anything this year. Montreal scoring has been poor. I do wonder with Colorado's goaltending though, because I don't know if Varlamov right now is better than Bernier. I'm starting to wonder if Bernier is going to maybe steal a start or two down the stretch. Because if Colorado stays in the hunt, you're going to have to go with your better goalie. And honestly, I think the numbers favor Bernier right now. Varlamov can shut me up, though, by shutting down the Montreal Canadiens tonight, which has happened to Montreal before. Ottawa last night, of course, Dion Phaneuf gets pulled out of the lineup during the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens with Montreal tonight. Montreal's got to have stuff going on right now. They've got to have trade moves coming up, and they've got to have a plan. If they have a plan, right? There's a plan in Montreal. We're assuming there's a plan in Montreal. So hopefully, Montreal figures things out for themselves here going into the deadline, and Ottawa and LA getting out ahead of it. It's a smart move, and we'll see if other teams are smart about it as well. Maybe Vancouver, maybe somebody gets pulled out of their lineup in the pregame. I'm looking at you, Thomas Vanek. And he's played well for Vancouver, but that's why he's likely got decent market value, and maybe he'll get moved. So keep an eye on who does or doesn't show up tonight, who's in or out of the lineup tonight, who might be a healthy scratch all of a sudden. Because this is that time of year where you don't want your assets you're trying to move to get hurt. So you might start holding a guy out of the lineup here and there because you're trying to move him. So let me know who your winners are for tonight. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And again, light night in the league. Thank you very much for watching. I also want to throw out there, I realize now I had my goalies mixed up last night. Corey Schneider will be back. It's supposed to be in a week. It's Brian Elliott I was thinking of with the 5 to 6 weeks out. And what Philly's going to do from there, I don't know. Neuwirth has been playing really well when he's been in. His numbers have been solid. I don't know if I'd ride Neuwirth the whole way along. And Lyon showed the last time that he was forced into duty that maybe he's not ready yet. So Philly might be in the market for a rental of sorts, but only for a 5-week period, so it's not going to be a big name. It'd be probably a number 3 guy from another organization. But again, that's it for me for now. Like and subscribe buttons are your friends, and I'll talk to you again soon.